Andy Edwards. Never heard of him.
Microphone on, testing. Camera on, lovely. Are we going? Is everything safe and sound? I never normally say that at the beginning of the video, but that's what I want to say. Just check that I'm recording and check on my computer, because I forgot my little clip-on mic today. So you're having the luxury of me recording on one of my nice microphones, so you'll be able to hear my rich and dulcet tones on this, and I'll try and speak in a much sexier, lower voice. And you can tell by the nonchalant way in which I start this video, this is going to be a chat, isn't it? But before I get chatted, my palate is a little bit dry. So I'm just going to have a little drink to get me going. So where's my cup? Here we go. Oh, this, what's that? This has got water in it. Water? What am I doing drinking water? Right, so just pour myself a drink. Sound, did you hear it? Did you hear that fizzy sound of Coke being poured into a cold glass of Coke on a hot day? Oh, every now and then a Coke is what you need, isn't it? Don't you think? Not the drug. That fizzy, syrupy taste, and I feel a little bit of lift from the caffeine. It's just what you need. Bit of sugar, get me going for the video. I did enjoy that. Right, I'll just put my top on my bottle, ensuring that there we go. You know, you can't see the logo there. Where could I put it that they could see the logo? Maybe here. If I put it there, is that right? Coca-Cola. Somebody once said to me, who knew about marketing and promotion, that Coca-Cola had an idea that they wanted their product to be in arm's reach of everybody on the planet. Marketing and promotion. Okay? This callous attempt to sell Coca-Cola to you is me pointing out the fact that once I've got your gaze, I can sell you stuff. I have never done any product placement or selling. I get offered it all the time, but I don't do it. I might do it. I'm thinking of it at the moment of doing it. But when these companies approach you, or to get rid of them, all you have to do is say, well, what are the details? Could I have a chat to someone on the phone about it? No, they don't want to do that, do they? So Sodom. But this is what this is all about. Those of you who are watching it and you haven't got YouTube Premium, and I suggest you get YouTube Premium, that will be the conclusion to this video, is that you get YouTube Premium. Really? I'm not going to pay for YouTube Premium, Andy, I know, but I'm just saying it. Let me take you through this process, because it is quite a desperate thing, this is. Title of this video, Will YouTube Kill Music? Right? Now, let's start at the beginning, right? I love music, and I think you love music, okay? Now, why don't I like modern music? It's very simple. I can go on loads of reasons why I don't. I don't like the streaming and all the digital perfectionism, all that rap where they just talk about, money and crime, and I'm not interested in all that. We could say all that till the cows come home, right? But I promise you, if you took any pop song in the charts, anything, Ariana Grande, whoever it is, bloody Nicki Minaj, whoever's big at them, I can't even Drake, whoever it is, right? Okay, if you took that song or whatever it was and walked into a studio and you got Steve Gadd in there, Marcus Miller and Richard T, the likes of those sort of players, any like Steve Lukather, or even a bunch of other players, more avant-garde like Tony Levin, Robert Fripp, I don't care who it is, right? But the point is, if you walked into a studio and Drake walked into a studio and he took his rotten rap in and said, look, this is the vibe of the thing and here's my demo, and played his hit record like it was the demo and said, this is what I want it to sound like. And he had some electronic guys that can get a bit of that blippiness in there. But as soon as it's being played in the room by real people, I'll listen to it and I'll like it. Right? I don't believe that our move away from real instruments playing real music with warts and all playing is just time moving on. I think we have lost something which I call music. That is what music is. Music is someone expressing themselves through something in the world. It's that bomb. Machines don't do that. Machines just can't do it. Maybe the vocal is over the top. Maybe the audience is just focused on the vocals, but those are being eradicated through computer use. Now, this video is not about that, but I want to make the point that I believe that real music means music played by people, and played by people in the same room at the same time. Right? That's what I believe is when music's at its best. That has to be saved. That's what we mean by saving music. That's what I want to save. So rather than just be like any other music YouTuber and sit in the room in my bedroom and, cheaply put out my videos because I've got nice lights in the background, got it all set up, I have done so much bloody work in trying to get this room here with 48 channel desk, full studio, seats, a pool table, a dartboard, in an environment where we got toilets and places you could walk around, and all of this was a vision of mine so I could invite musicians in and get them to play. Now, last week I did one of the most ambitious, it is the most ambitious music performance videos on here, where I tried to recreate Bitches Brew. We had about 10 musicians in the room trying to recreate Bitches Brew, which is a difficult album for the audience to understand anyway. The whole thing is something I did not for money, not for views. I did it because I wanted to make an artistic point. And what it was is that real music's here on YouTube. So when the album was invented, the reason why popular music went running to all these styles of music like blues and jazz, which was improvised, was because a new music needed to be created. And improvising musicians could work in a recording studio better than classical musicians because they were malleable. They were like, they could move and create things. And they did. And to this day, when you go into a studio now to make a record, it's your improvisational skills that are utilised all the time. There are millions of musicians out there that cannot read music that are working now in the session world. When I say millions, that world is dying. But that's the real skill. Whatever it is, you either come and can you put a drum part in this, or we need a guitar part from that, or can you put a solo on this? Or how would you orchestrate? All of these skills are what real musicians have. This classic era we talk about is either incredible bands like Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix Experience, an amazing band with a chemistry in the room playing together, or it's incredible session musicians. And we all want to know about these stories now about how Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was created, because we know they were created on the spot by basically jazz musicians improvising in a room. And you felt that. The reason you felt it is because the way the studio works is someone who walks into one room and then you had the God's eye view of the producer in the other room, sat like that looking at it through a window, and the sound was coming in, and when that sound was right, you could go, yes guys, you've got it, and then they could play down and judge their visceral guts in the moment to make it right. And when it was right, it was right. And I've seen this in the studio so many times before. Okay, there's a slow walk to the destruction of all this, the invention of a drum machine, the invention of a sort of electronics sequencers, and then the internet comes in, digital perfection, and you get downloading, then you get streaming. And there is the ability to create meaningless popular music with a machine. And because there's other aspects to music. It's not just what I'm saying about all this vibe and stuff where you can sit there and put your eyes, oh, I love it. You know, there's more to it than that. Music has multiple functions. And modern pop music provides a function, you know, and you need me to explain all that? You don't. So that's sort of taken over, hasn't it? But thank God at the same time, we had Instagram and we had YouTube. Now, Instagram's got a problem for real players. It's great and you can make a name there, but everything has to happen in a matter of a minute. And so, bizarrely, just as virtuosity had no real meaning in the industry anymore, virtuosity became even more of a value commodity on Instagram. And only virtuosity, and virtuosity as a slave to copycatness, to imitation. So Instagram, I don't feel, is a great place for real music, but it's a great place for seeing real instruments being played, and I am glad of it. I would rather have that than nothing at all. But YouTube commercially has existed to try and grab people for as long as possible, and the algorithm for many years has been grab them but try and keep them there. So in knowing this, I felt with my channel that the name of the channel was Andy Edwards. It was my channel, and people come here to hear me talk about stuff. And they buy into me, and they will follow what I talk about. Wherever I go, the fans of Andy Edwards will do that. And the fact that I won't kowtow to what other talking head YouTubers do, right? They appreciate some of them, because they know that I am utilising a bitches brew type aesthetic with my videos, because I don't really know where I'm going. They're not scripted, and also I throw spanners in the works, and I try and make things more difficult myself, and I try and, you know, by adding, say, comedy elements and then very serious elements, and I try and talk my way all through this, and most of it is a bloody failure, but there's many people that are willing to go along with the ride. Also, I utilise a skill that I developed as a lecturer, in that I would have to go in and do an hour lecture. That's why my videos are an hour long, because that's what I know. The architecture of coming in, introducing a subject, starting to talk about it, go off on a journey, and then come back to some conclusion, and hopefully for that conclusion to have something profound in it and counterintuitive, where if you stay to the end, you'll go, whoa, that I hadn't really thought about it like that, and I didn't expect that to be so uplifting, because this bloke was being negative. I understand what I do, right? I understand what I'm trying to do. And when I do it, it's an incredible feeling. I'm right in it now. Now, what we're about to have now is the Andy Edwards digression, right? So I'm about to digress and go down an avenue. I'm going to leave the initial idea of is YouTube going to kill music, and I'm now going to digress. But I've now done a double digression, because I'm digressing based upon the digression, and I am doing this sort of Brechterian alienation thing where I'm talking about the mechanics of the video from the inside out and what I'm actually thinking. Right, I've talked about this for so long now that the digression I was about to go into, I have forgotten about. Right, so now I feel like I have driven off the end of the pier, and my mouth has to keep going, because that's the name of the game. My mouth has to keep going, even though I should never have turned off on this left turn down here and then taken a right, because now I'm completely lost and can't remember anything that I was about to talk about. But if I can pull it back onto track, it's the fact that I will allow that sort of chaos to reign in, and that may well have been the digression. There's a story about Herbie Hancock saying that is exactly what it was like in Miles Davis's band, that you would start playing and you would go off in a certain direction, and you had something you wanted to say, and you thought, oh, I'm going to say that, but then it took a different turn and you say something else. And this you could do in a monologue. And you can take people on that journey, and they can go, oh, that was interesting, and then you can bring them back onto it and take them away and bring them back onto it. Now, what we're talking here as we bring it back on is this idea that YouTube killed music. Now, I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that more for me, to try and keep me on track. Before, and I'm going to do a number of digressions and come back. Now, why am I doing these digressions? I'm doing these digressions because sometimes you will go off into a certain area, and I don't know whether it's your subconscious. I actually think it's coming from outside. I think it comes from outside. I think once you're into the now, once you are existing in the moment and you become aware of it, which is why music's so amazing, right? But once you're in that point, you become a conduit for something, and it's not spiritual. It's actually... we are always a conduit for something. We are a conduit for experience. And we are the observer as much as the interactor. And if you get your observation and interaction in one, that sort of completes the circle of a certain discrepancy where we're either in the past or the future. And I've talked about this ad infinitum on this channel. Right? So my job is to come out and talk in that way, to digress, but to hold you. I believe that listening to a talking head person like that is like, because I'll put YouTube people and they got people talking. They start talking and I go, I know exactly what they're going to say. I know how they're going to pad it out, and I know the conclusion they're going to get to, because they planned it all before and just spent 1 minute planning it. Oh, I'll do this, this and this. And they never let the chaos enter, where you might say something that you and the audience didn't expect. Now, the algorithm on YouTube loves this, or it did love this, because people would turn up, right? I start talking, and as my stats always say, that I have a very strong people stay and listen or watch the videos for a long time. In doing that, if you haven't got YouTube Premium, you will have gone through a number of adverts now. Now, those adverts are making me money. Not as much as YouTube, but if you think about this, I make enough money for me and my family to survive and to pay for this studio. That's a proper living wage for a family, not an individual, for a family. Yet YouTube is taking more than me. Significantly more. So they're making a lot of money off what I do. Now, they don't know I exist. They don't even know what's going on here. I've been told that there are some people in YouTube who work for it that do watch my videos, because a lot of the sort of management of YouTube are musicians. Well, if they're watching this one, I hope they are, because they saw the title, I've got a message for them. Okay? But I haven't got to the message yet, and I haven't got to the message of what this video is about, because I'm doing what they want and holding you here with enough stuff that you're going to stay around and go through a number of adverts and make some money. Because, of course, that's all YouTube's about, is making money. It's just about making money. So I come on here, talk about music, real music. I talk about art and aesthetics and creativity. I even go into music theory sometimes. I bring politics in. I have a sort of spiritual, religious aspect. And that, what does that attract? I'll tell you who it attracts. Musically minded, middle-aged, intelligent people. Right, that's the demographic, right? That's your demographic. My audience is ridiculously intelligent. I know this, right? I know this because if you go to my Patreon, I've got bloody PhD professors all over the bloody place. I shit PhD professors, I do. Right, here's me. I'm a degree in fine art, an academic, and yet I shit professors, PhD professors. They're all there, all watching it. Hello, PhDers. Hello there. You know, they know more than me. They're cleverer than me. So why are they watching this for? I must be onto something if I got the PhDers. I've got an intelligent audience. And the thing is, they've got money and they buy stuff. So YouTube can just simply look at the demographic who watches this channel and go, that people who watch this channel like these things, because we know, because they like them. Well, I think that we're about to go through another sort of revolution, online revolution. It's being caused by AI, because a few months ago, this thing turned up and it said, do you want an overview of your video, Andy? It's AI talking to me, pretending to be a real person. And rather than go, you're not a real person, get out, you're a ghost, you're an evil, malicious spirit that's got itself into a digital demon that's in YouTube, you know. Rather than think like that, because that's the truth, right? I go, oh, sorry, yeah, tell me. And it does this, it goes, A lot of your core audience clicked onto your video, Will YouTube Kill Music? But it also brought in people that don't normally watch your channel, but they weren't so interested, perhaps because they didn't really understand what you do. Maybe if you explained at the beginning a little bit more about what you do and got cut to the chase quicker, you wouldn't lose that audience. But judging from the comments, because we've read the comments, we know a lot of your core audience enjoyed what you did, and they enjoyed the combination of humour, where at one point you're talking about quite philosophical things, and then the next point you're saying stupid stuff like I shit PhD professors, which a small minority of people found funny. God knows why, probably because they're bloody childish underneath it all, because you do seem to have a very sort of silly sense of humour, Mr. Edwards, and so you got the AI, and I thought the AI knows exactly what I'm doing now. This is quite cool, isn't it? Like my drink of Coke. This is quite cool, isn't it? The old AI telling me all these things. It can help me come up with a thumbnail, title a video for me. Can do it all, really. I mean, really, I might just do what AI tells me to do. Fuck AI, that's what I say. Right, I am going to, because the fact is when my Bitches Brew, do you know this Bitches Brew video? I've got 10 musicians, they all had to bloody come over here. BD Lenz has come over from the United States, Martin Smith's got to come and get in a bloody hotel. They walk in here, they don't know what they're doing. No, I'm not paying them, I can't. If I paid them all even like a crap amount, it would have been like £1,000 to have them in the room. They're all doing it because they like me, because they love the music, and, that's it. They want to be involved in something that's cool because they're true, honest, decent musicians. That's the truth. We've had to record it and mix it. We've had to bloody edit all the cameras together. It's all really difficult. There's problems. We have to mix stuff in other studios. I can just come in here and just ramble into the camera, and that will get more views and do. So what am I doing it for? Right, because all the AI is going to say when they watch the Bitches Brew video, they go, well, hardly anybody saw this one, Andy. Nobody was watching. They're not interested in you playing your music. They're interested in you talking. You've got to come on here and talk. They don't care about your drumming. I don't care how much you bloody practiced the drums, how much you've worked on music. I don't care how much you know about music. Keep them here and get as many as you can and keep them here so we can stick the bloody adverts in and sell them bloody erectile dysfunction bloody products. That's really what AI should be saying. Why are you doing the Bitches Brew? Don't do it. But I will do it. Why? Because I'm a person, and I have morals, and I have an artistic vision, and I want to say something that I want to do something which is important. I'm not just interested in video views. Well, you could be not interested in video views, Andy, but how are you going to feed your family? Oh yeah, I didn't realise you got that gun to my head. This is like working for someone. This is like when I had a job. I got out of a job and became self-employed because I didn't want to have that feeling. I wanted a feeling that, yeah, I know, but you've got to put money on the table. This is a bloody capitalist society. You've got to go out and sell for us. Sell. That's what YouTube's about. That's what it's all about. That's what Google's about. It's here to sell stuff. It's here to sell stuff. Like you were doing with your Coca-Cola. That was bloody brilliant, that is. Coca-Cola getting advertising. They haven't even paid for it. Not that your demographic drinks so much Coca-Cola, actually, but some of them do, and they that fizzy sound, that might have gone, oh, that was good, the way you held it up against the camera, and you went in, and did you normalise that? Yeah, I did a little bit just to bring it up, to have an effect. Yeah, when you hear that fizziness of the Coke, you think, oh, I fancy a Coke now, and like you said, you were right, if there's one in reach, they're drinking it, and then they're buying it, aren't they? It seems very, very clever in the end, isn't it? Well, you see, art versus commerce, same old problem, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're in, right? I want this to have some artistic integrity, right? That doesn't mean I'm pretentious, right? I know I'm a twat, right? I'm quite happy to be a twat on here. And if it entertains you, whatever, if I'm going to put silly hats on and pretend to be people and do all, I will. But I do want to bring the musicians in, and they are amazing players, and the music is amazing, right? I'm so lucky to be involved in it. But I'm trying to show the world that YouTube actually could be the place where real music goes to. And once we understand that and stop chasing all the stuff that doesn't exist anymore, YouTube might be able to come in and provide a commercial base for real music to exist. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Problem is, it's all bloody changed because they've got the AI. Because YouTube, and I thank Barry Robertson, I'm doing an interview with Barry on Wednesday, Barry Robinson is the guy behind Classic Album Review, and he approached me, being the very intelligent guy that he is, and he says, have you noticed something's happened with the algorithm on YouTube? And at that time, I was all over the bloody place anyway, and I'd taken a week off, and I've come back, and my channel is working at half the amount of views that it was. This halved, right? Income's halved, everything's halved. And for a while I thought, now I'll get this back, I'll do some bloody viral video, I'll come out with something. And I did. I came out with one about box sets and remixes. You all loved it. Everyone started talking about it. But even though it didn't go like it used to. The numbers are all low. Everything's low across the board. My Patreon numbers are low. The money coming into PayPal tip jar is low. The views are low. The income's low. Everything's low. Now, Barry, being a more conscientious person than me, has gone out and done a whole bunch of research, and he's done an incredible video, and the link is down here. When I watched Barry's video, I was like, thanks, Barry, because that's explained it all. Chat to a few people I know who have said that their YouTube feed has changed. Now, where's YouTube going to go with this? Well, they've got AI now, haven't they? So all the stuff that matters, the subscribers, the title of your video, the thumbnail of your video, they don't matter anymore. And that's our bread and butter. Right? That's how us YouTubers think. And that allows you to do something which has always existed in the arts, and I'm afraid to tell you that I've been doing it a lot on here, I do confess, is where you get a very contentious title and you get a really contentious YouTube thumbnail, because even though you're going to talk about something that just might be mildly interesting, you're going to go, this has happened and it's going to kill you. That's basically what every YouTube video title and thumbnail should look like. I discovered this thing and it made me cut my cock off. Right, there we go. I can come up with millions of these things. What did you discover, Andy? I was down by Caravan. Did you cut your cock off? Well, so only metaphorically. I just thought I'd put it in the title. Profanity. Put swear word in the title. They love that. You've got to put the stars in, but still say it. I heard the new Marillion album, and now I feel fucked in the head. Start. That's what you've got to have. Now, I'd be very careful here to keep the profanity to after 30 minutes. You can't have it at the beginning. Right? You can have it later on. I never used to swear in my videos because my mum and dad brought me up in that way. I don't swear in real life. But then I realised that the audience like it. They like a bit of swearing. Right? This is what it's all about. Anyway, so you put your contentious video title up. YouTube go, right, let's spread that out there. This audience like that type of thing. And it goes out there and they, what's Andy doing? Oh my God, he's cut his cock off because of a Caravan album. I'm going to have to watch this because he's cut his cock off, I would have done it to Genesis's Lamb Lies Down on Broadway because that is sort of the subject matter, isn't it? But he has a crow still, right? My wife said to me the other day, she went, you're going too far on your videos and stuff. I said, what do you mean? She said, you were talking about cutting your penis off the other day. That's too much. I said, yeah, but it just relates. It's comedy. What's funny about that? It's funny because it happens to Peter Gabriel. Does it? Yeah, on Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, gets stolen by a crow. He's walking along and I think he's got it in his hand because he's had it removed, but he still owns it. He's still in possession of it, which is better than nothing. Then the bloody crow comes out and takes it off. Drops it in a stream or something. What do you want about, Andy? This is actually what happened. Do you think I'm weird? You want to bloody get in Peter Gabriel's mind? Anyway, where are we with this one? See, that was much more of a natural digression there with a bit of humour in, wasn't it? We're having a nice laugh, aren't we? And you're having a laugh along and still go, but we still haven't got to the point, have we? So, that was the way I think things were, but they're not around now. Because now AI can find out what the video's about. Right? So say you like nude fly fishing. Say that's a thing. It probably is. You go out with your tackle, stand by the riverbank, cast off into the river, in the nude. Wait there, tickle, tickle, tickle. Fish out, stick it in your net, go home. Put your pants on, back home. So that's the thing people like to do. Now, if they like to do that, as long as they don't upset anybody doing it, I will support them in all of that. So say there's like this thing going on, nude fly fishing, right? So say I've got a YouTube which is about nude fly fishing, right? I cover that. Now, I can put as contentious a title as I want, and maybe I'm sat there going, how can I make this contentious? Well, you're in the nude to start off with. Yeah, we're not allowed to show nudity. Yeah, we can blur it out. I know, but I'm having to blur it out, so much. I'm filming these videos of me in the nude fly fishing, and I'm having to blur it out. Yeah, but it's not a very big amount of blur, is it? It can't take it that long. Right, so these are all the jokes. This is the humour. As I imagine some Englishman on the shore of some river trying to catch a small fish with his tackle out, if you know what I'm saying. That makes me laugh. It's just the image makes me laugh. But the fact is, this YouTube is selling direct to those people, right? Direct. Okay? Now, what the nude fly fisherman is going to buy that the normal fisherman wouldn't buy, I don't know, because there's no special clothes that you're going to wear for this one, I'm afraid. And I assume the tackle's all the same, isn't it? But maybe there are certain things that maybe if you're into nude fly fish, you're into other things. Anyway, the truth is now AI can go, that one's about fly fishing. Send it to the fly fisherman, the nude fly fisherman, and they get to see the video, because that video is the same every single time, and you can't fool them. You can't dress it up anymore. AI knows what your video's about. So it comes along to one of mine and goes, I only spoke for a bloody hour about all sorts of things. Did he talk about nude fly fishing? Yeah. Send it to the nude fly fisherman. So someday now, nude fly fisherman gets up and the AI said, this was about nude fly fishing. They clicked on it and went, bloody hell, this is interesting. It's all about Bitches Brew by Miles Davis. I didn't expect this. But the point is here, the AI is going in, finding out what the actual video is about, and then sticking it straight there. You don't need subscribers. You don't need titles. All the things you used to have, you don't need. They can now make money by selling direct, because the whole thing about advertising has been this contraction, and they really want what Coca-Cola said, that you in your mind is placed the thought that you want a drink of Coke, and you stretch out your arm and it's there. That is what they want. That's why I started out with this on the video. It's all got meaning, you see. I thought you didn't plan your videos. I don't. I sat down and saw the bottle of Coke in front of me and decided to do it at the last minute. The bottle of Coke was provided for me. Now I'm here, I'm realising, yeah, it's actually quite a clever metaphor, but I didn't do it. That's weird, Andy. I know it. It happens all the time. I know, just accept it. You want to put yourself in my position. It is weird. I come here and I make a video. That's the video. It wasn't made and then it's made, right? I only play a small part in it. You play as big a part as me. But I'm aware of that and I run with it. I'm aware of something going on and it's an incredible thing. And I think music embodies that. But AI doesn't. And this is why AI is so bloody dodgy. Right? Because it promises to do something, but in the end, what it does is it works for the man, not for individual men, not for individual women or individual children. It works for the man, and the man wants control and money. This is all that sort of stuff, all the stuff that rock and roll has rebelled about, and all the stuff that rock and roll celebrates. But the truth is, YouTube doesn't give a toss about music. It doesn't give a toss about any of this. Maybe some of the people who work there give a toss about it, but YouTube doesn't. It just wants to maximise its profits. And those music fans, if they are watching it, who work in YouTube, if there is one watching this right now, and they'll be sat there going, yeah, no, Andy, you might be right, but in the end, you don't understand this bloody company. This is about profit, and that's it. And if they can find a better way of selling it, that's the case. And that, I think, is the case. I think there's a danger here, and this is a very subtle thing that I've tried to get across on this video, and let's try and explain it in deep depth now so you really understand it. AI can find out exactly what my video is about and then utilize it to the maximum effect to sell stuff. But the problem is my videos do not contain a single specific thing that makes it like an advert that they can then prod under someone's nose, knowing that it's going to do the job. AI is going to come along and go, well, this is confused and strange and weird. Very much like if AI was measuring records for their popularity and was scanning Ornette Coleman albums, right? And so AI really can only understand art in a commercial sense. AI is in terms of its understanding of value, can only reduce value to the level of monetary value. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret, right? This is such a huge thing for the arts and the crisis that exists that I have created a YouTube channel that's got hardly anything on it called Never Mind the Quality, Feel the Width. It is an extension of my old politics channel. I will try and put a link down below to that as well if you want to go across and subscribe. I really want to deal with this issue of quality, because quality in the end can only be the negotiated realms of human beings. Maybe AI can get together and decide what it is beautiful, and all you'll have is what AI thinks is beautiful. AI is not us and never will be us. Doesn't matter how much transhumanism, how much modern identity politics you swallow, AI is not us. It will never be us. We're human beings, right? And we are human beings because we are human beings. Okay? And there is a mystery in that is very subtle. And it exists in music. It's beauty. It is beauty itself. So AI, if YouTube start to utilize it, will erase a certain chaotic element where there is a community here, not based around me, but based around my ideas of quality. And so people buy into my ideas of quality. And that's motivating. You see, listening to great music's motivating, but talking about great music, talking about great art, talking about profound things is really motivating. Right? Have you ever been to one of them positive Tony Robbins type things? You know, he comes in and for that moment when you're in there, he does his spiel is entirely just about motivating you and making you feel like, yes, I can do it. I don't know what it is, but I can do it. It's about that, right? And that is if you talk about peak experiences, as Maslow said, you will have peak experiences, right? This here is more honest than that. I come on, I do my spiel, right? I take you on a little journey, and towards the end of this, we are getting now to this profound idea that AI has no idea about quality, right? And advertising attaches itself to quality. That is art and commerce. It's attached to it. Right, so I'm going to give you an example of this. I am, believe it or not, a big fan of Madonna. Now, you probably didn't expect that, but I do really love Madonna, and I think Madonna is a great artist in the same respect that Stevie Wonder or Prince is a great artist, or Kate Bush. I think Madonna is an absolute great artist, and I think she's massively popular, but people don't quite understand why she's so good. All right, why is Madonna so good? Now, this could be a separate video, and it would probably get views as well, but this is the problem. If you want now a 10-minute little YouTube video, because my stuff is like prog and they're epics, we now go into the little section which is called Madonna is good, and this is why I think why. This is like a little thing. Oh, this is exciting. I didn't expect Andy to do this. See, this retains you here. Right, Madonna's great because of her ability to create the vocal line to start off with, and her vocal lines point to more than just being a great vocal. Madonna has an ability of taking a song, adding all these incredible hooks in there, but also subsuming those hooks to a certain cultural aspect which is apparent, that she almost like creates it herself, but she does it in a way which then encases that album in that trope forever and ever. This is probably done at a masterpiece level on Vogue. Vogue takes in this sort of high energy dance music linked to gay culture at that point in time, and has a sort of aesthetic that goes back to the glory of Hollywood cinema, and it embodies all that into the song and the video. Now, if you go listen to Madonna's vocal performance on there, you will see that there's absolute genius going on. The verses, every time she returns to a verse, it's different, and she opens up this, there's more excitement, there's more going on. But when she gets to the chorus, she does something which you're not really supposed to do on a pop song. She has two hooks at the same time. She has the hook of the riff going bing ding 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 ding, and her vocal meshes in with that. You could take the vocal away, which she does at one point, and just leave you with that hook, and it will act as a hook. But her vocal enmeshes in that. But you can't really have the vocal without the hook. And she's brilliant at doing this. But if you then start to listen to all the little idiosyncrasies that she puts in, the call and answers, her harmony vocals, you'll start to see how appealing it is in a commercial way, but at a genius level in terms of popular songwriting. Now, I was listening to it the other day, and I got it on, and I was listening to Material Girl. I love that tune. And again, here now she's going into the whole Marilyn Monroe, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, updated it for the 1980s. Some girls do it, some girls don't. I don't do the way, no way. And you get those little answers. To the brightest day. We are living in a material world. I am a material girl. Oh no, we are living. Oh, brilliant vocal. You know, another hook. Right, absolutely amazing. I'm listening to it, thinking this is bloody brilliant, and I've got it on the best of Madonna, but I'm going, Material Girl's really amazing. Why is it so much better than the rest? And then it became apparent. It's because Tony Thompson's on drums. Now, I have not checked the credits, right? I was driving in my car. I still haven't checked the credits. I might make a massive error here and get it wrong. But as I was listening to it, really enjoyed it, I went, Tony Thompson's in that room. Tony Thompson's the drummer with Chic. He then went on to play in Power Station. He plays on David Bowie's Let's Dance. The drum is incredible. And suddenly I locked onto the drums, and then suddenly this opened up, and I went, oh my God, the what's embodied in the sound on this record is unbelievable. It's so, there is as much there in that drum part as if I was listening to Elvin Jones, because Tony Thompson's one of my favourite drummers of all time. He's the master of just the right fill at the right time. Like, I can't think of anybody else. It's incredible. And his films seem simple, you know, you go, blah, blah, it'll just be like a blah, blah. But the way he voices things is so interesting. Now, Material Girl doesn't need it, but it's much better for having it. Those esoteric aspects of music, right? Okay, I don't think AI can work that out. I just don't think it can. Right? Because it's not a human being. It can probably scan this video and say, wonder you said that, and it can copy what I said, thinking, well, is that what humans do? Is that what humans do? If YouTube start to utilize AI to try and position their videos, right, it will work, right? But will it work? That's the question. Now, I had an argument with my friend Rob yesterday, which wasn't a nasty argument, but I was getting niggled by what he was saying. But I also took on board what he was saying, because his central point was, no, YouTube's going to miss out. Now, I think he could be right. He could be right in missing out. And the error won't be the AI. It will be YouTube thinking that things are that simple. All right? Because It's searching for quality. It's trying to extract value, and value is related to quality, directly related. All right. But YouTube, what it might not realize is that in negotiating quality, that the viewers to my channel that have bought into it and are going to go on this thing which AI can't really understand because I'm going all over the bloody place on this video over an hour, right? That's something that YouTube created, which is incredible. Joe Rogan was just a normal bloke who would chat in a room. Now, recently I did a video with the Vinyl Vulture on the box set of Abbey Road. And because we hadn't filmed it here, the camera started rolling earlier than I thought. So when you watch that video at the start, you can see me and Dave really talking, and we don't know we're being recorded. And when I watched it back, I kept all that in because, to me, I felt it was some of the best YouTubing I'd ever done. With Dave just chatting. This is equivalent of the Tony Thompson drum beat on Madonna's Material Girl. This, we don't want to lose that. Now, that means that subscribers do matter. That means the community here does matter. That means my 2,000 patrons that I've got matter. That means the audience of what I talk about matters. And it might mean that nobody really understands it because they can't get enough of a God's eye view to work out what it is that's going on that's making this popular. But YouTube could well, like Rob said, and I think he was going on his instinctual things, and I was going, no, they don't care about that. All YouTube cares about money. Yeah, well, they'll probably lose money. No, they won't, because they won't lose money. The algorithm will always, they're hunting for the way of making the most money. But will that safeguard music? Right? Because can it measure the fact that the person that sits down like me and goes, oh, I'm going to listen to some music now, and I don't mean listen to it, I mean watch it. This is a big changer for me. I go to bed and I put my headphones on and I stick YouTube on and I start watching people play music. Sometimes it's properly recorded. Sometimes it's just on an iPhone. I love it all. You know, I would much rather check out the latest jazz guy by putting on a dodgy video of a gig they did than listen to their album. The album I don't trust. YouTube I trust. I can tell I know enough about it. I know when stuff's been buffed up and I don't want to know. Right? But there's a ton of reality out there in terms of live performed played music. If that was to be nurtured, not for commercial reasons, but because human being goes, real played music is really valuable, right? If you believe that the bloody rainforests are valuable, and you believe that the panda's valuable, you must believe that people play music's valuable. Now, they're going to bloody play music, and it will be there always. You know, both my daughters play music. You know, when they pick up a guitar, they might be listening to their blippy hip-hop, you know, on their TikTok things, but they still pick the guitar up. Right, that is what people do when they want to express themselves musically, and I believe better than the album, better than the bloody radio show, better than any of it, the best way to present music is on YouTube. It's an incredible vessel in which you can make money if your views are high enough. You can do such a wider variety of things. And I think it's a very exciting place. And I've been going out around to people saying, you know, there's money in YouTube and there's this and there's that and there's this and there's that. And I've got this platform now, you know, come over to my thing and play. I'll sacrifice the views to give you the views enough for you to have some feedback, which is what most artists want. And that will get them off the ground. And that creates this thing, we need it. Now, why do I think we need it? I can give you big intellectual reasons, but the reason why we need it is fundamentally because I like it. Because as a human being, I give it quality beyond just what I like. So much quality that I think it has to be preserved for other people to appreciate. Which is what art is. It's the preservation and presentation of quality in the world for other people. That needs to be saved, and YouTube is the best place for it regarding music. So let's hope that this algorithm doesn't start to knock out the more idiosyncratic people on YouTube that have spent the last 5 years working with bloody YouTube to create this thing, only for them to come along and kick everybody in the face, just as it was about to go somewhere else as well. That's what it feels like at the moment. I can resign myself to the fact that, I was making a bit of money. Now I'm going to have to go back to scratching around and doing all that. But, that maybe that's what it is. Maybe YouTube don't give a toss about that. And there's no reason why they should. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Right? I direct this at YouTube. You guys watching it might just give you an idea of what it's like to be on this end and how much you're reliant on these huge non-musical entities to preserve the thing you love when they do not give a toss about it whatsoever. If you like this video, please put a like on it. If you want to see some more, subscribe. If you want to support me, and I need the support now more than ever, there's a Patreon where you can become a paid up member or a free member. You can put money into my PayPal tip jar. You can go over to my Bandcamp and put a donation in to download a few albums, as many as you like because they're all free. Or you can subscribe and get loads and loads of albums that you can't get any other way, and listen to my music, and I would love you to listen to my music. That is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.